we live? Oh, fuck, I didn't realize we were live. Whoa, serious face. G'day, mates. Welcome right down to a good old-fashioned movie watch. Yeah, you knew it was gonna happen here. Well, if you saw Body Melt with us when I recommended it last time, well then, we got something to talk about.
That was a Foster's, by the way.
Yeah, brought to you by Foster's today. Brought to you by Foster's. Hey, right with me, I got two mad sick cunts. I got Dang Selleck.
See, if you do an Australian accent, then you can say cunt and no one gets mad.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It really helps. That's why I'm going to be doing a gangster type accent later, and I'm going to pick some words.
And I also got with me Titan, the Titan of all humanity right here.
Oh, you know me.
You know him. You know him. You love him.
You know
now,
me.
if I were to tell you, I said this last time, I'm going to say it again because I just cannot reiterate the wonders of this movie. If I was to say psycho Australian hillbillies, right? If I was to say pharmaceutical deep state operations, if I was to say buddy cop comedy, and I said it all happened in one movie, what would you say to me?
I'd say Body Melt.
Body Melt! Yeah!
And I would say that your accent needs to stay consistent.
It's never will.
Yeah,
It
see,
never
it's
will.
gonna.
I'm
If
sorry.
we let him keep talking an Australian
will
accent,
go
he'll be
like
German
Irish,
in
yeah.
an hour.
Russian eventually. We'll go through like a whole spectrum of people. That's why I don't like doing them.
Yeah, so here we are.
The real question of the day, we'll start right off with it. What'd you guys actually think of Body Melts? Like, honest opinions.
I really thought I was going to be trudging through another Brandt movie, and then
I
you
pick
saw
good movies.
Then
And
you
then-
saw the tits.
I fucking... yeah, exactly. It got me immediately hooked. No, I fucking loved it.
For a long-time listener to the podcast, if Brant picks a movie, it usually opens up with a nice rack.
I think statistically, if we were to look at that, yeah, there's been the majority of my movies have tits in them just
Yeah,
opening
well, yeah,
for-
just in the first scene, yeah. Which
Nope.
is, I mean, it's
but
not...
nowhere else.
Yeah,
also,
no,
is the same.
usually, it's just one set.
It's only the first tits you see.
But to answer your question, I actually thought this was a genuinely cool movie.
It was dope.
It had a style. It was doing exactly what it wanted to do. It was fucking it was shaking a fist at like fucking big pharma and like rich people and shit. So it was a rock and roll
I
kind of
honestly
fucking
think it was
movie,
just
man.
some Australians fucking around and
It
having
was
a good time.
I didn't read much of the Wikipedia article on this one. I literally read what I could skim while I was looking for other information. I was looking for information on whether there was a sequel, but apparently this movie was made by like a fucking. It was described as like an art rock,
It's
satire movie or something.
Shut up, it's a good movie. Don't even think of it satire because I think if you go in this blind without like any idea of like what it's being mean to, it's a lot better. Because I didn't know this was a satire. I just watched it and I was like,
It's
oh,
fucking great.
Well, I mean, I felt like the satire was like really obvious. Like it's clearly
No, it
like
totally is.
Yeah, it just clearly
But it's funner to, like,
meant to be
realize it.
funny. Like
Yeah.
it's both satirizing like big fucking billionaire companies and such, and it's just trying to be like campy and really gory and bloody and exploding.
I'll stand on this
which is the
fucking
most
hill.
important part.
This is as satirically funny as Brazil.
The country, or
The fucking movie by the Monty Python guys.
I haven't seen that.
I don't think
Oh,
I've seen that either.
fuck you guys.
It's by
You
the
watch
Monty
shitty
Python-
movies. You
Wait,
say
wait,
I
wait.
fuck.
When you say by the Monty Python guys, do you mean by the Monty Python guys, or do you mean it's a Terry Gilliam movie?
Fuck. I think like John Cleese is in there too or something.
Have you seen Brazil, Brant?
I have seen Brazil. I've watched it a couple times. I could actually tell you the fucking whole plot of the movie
Okay,
right
well,
now.
how about we
beat for
talk
beat.
about the plot
Let's
of
watch about
Body Melt?
the other Brazil. This boy be opens, like we said, with some good old tits. Sorry, not doing
Well,
the
no,
Australian
before we
accent.
get to the tits.
No, the tits are the fucking only
No, before
thing.
we get to the tits, we lead in with
Fuck you.
It opens up immediately with an ad for Vimuville.
Yeah, it's
by what was the name of the company? Because Vitajex is the name of the drug.
I don't fucking know.
Vimutech, I think.
Vimutech.
Vimutech makes Vimujet, which also is sponsoring Vimuville, which is the secret project name of Holmes.
Yeah,
Vitamicomb?
No, Vimuville.
Vimuville is the name of the place.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
essentially, not to go too hard into the plot, so we open up and we know that there's this magical place called Vimuville
It's just
where
a
you can
fucking
go and you
staticky
can be the
VHS,
healthiest.
It's just a staticky VHS commercial, and
Yes.
it turns into fucking. It
Yeah.
turns into fucking right off the
It cuts
bat.
right into the fucking because it's showing you this like ad for this super crazy place you can go live, and you can be and you can be entirely filled with joy and power and strength, and you can have all your whatevers
And then it's fucking. And then we get into some
really
fucking.
weird mailbox.
And then we cut into some fucking.
We cut into fucking. It happens. It's hard. It's fast. It's put to techno. There's a needle in an arm. And then we have someone that we don't know talking to someone we don't know on the
And
phone.
what she says is, "Oh, I just took care of Ryan. He won't get very far."
Fun fact.
Are we meant to believe? Sorry, are we meant to believe that she injected that into him without him knowing?
Yeah, that was a big ass fucking needle.
And the
That
way
was
I-
huge.
How hard?
And it was a ton of
how
it.
hard was he fucking?
There was a sauna there. There was like a tanning bed too, so he was probably just really dehydrated.
Yeah, everybody was really, really sweaty. But I mean, it's Australia. I think it gets pretty hot down there.
That's just a natural state of Australians.
The way I took the note on this was naked lady plus boobs injects sleepy post cum hunk.
Yeah. That's it. That's exactly what happens.
I've read that title.
I'm sorry that I laughed.
Yeah,
at
I've
my
jerked
own
off
thing
to
there,
a,
but I didn't remember that.
a fucking Japanese cartoon with that same name, I think.
Yeah, but she says she fixed Ryan up. But essentially, it explains it really quickly that Ryan, the person who just got spiked
He's a
up with
chemist.
this
He's a
goo,
chemist or
he's a
whatever.
chemist
With a
who
conscience.
was working for Vimneyville Invited Jecks, and he doesn't believe that they should be experimenting
But fuck
on
that.
random
Who
people.
cares about that? Because you know what's even funnier is Australians apparently say Rottweilers instead of Rottweilers.
Yeah, that was
that's
also
wrong.
20 Rottweilers.
See, that's why that culture is just
Route
criminals.
wheelers.
Yeah, she says it
Wheelers.
real fucked up.
Rat wheelers.
It's on me.
Route wheelers.
Anyways, our chemist hunk.
Also, this guy, he's on screen right now. He's the guy that got injected.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, Ryan.
His accent is not even close to Australian.
That's why he's not in here for very
I
long.
Where the
think-
fuck is he from?
I don't know, man. See, that's the issue is like whenever I'm watching an Australian movie, I think there's a couple of characters, or like any kind of foreign movie, I think there's a couple characters in this movie where it's intentionally shown like this person has an American accent or whatever. And I don't notice that because I'm like, that's just how a human
Well,
talks.
you only like
What's
hear him
weird
like
about
a few
that?
times. He's a minor character. Sorry, he's a very minor character because what happens is he's gonna walk into a convenience store and he's gonna say, "Oh," he's gonna grab a store and he's gonna like detergent, and then he's gonna go rush over, fuck up a bunch of stuff because he's body melting.
Yeah.
and he's gonna drink the detergent and it's gonna freak out the fucking guys
Because
like,
she's
fucking
in case
papa.
because we've been because he got injected by the lady he was
goop.
just fucking. This is the guy who was fucking.
The guy that was fucking.
And
yeah.
the chick he was fucking is like the CEO PR person of Vita, whatever the fuck.
I don't know. It just like I felt like they were like, yeah, we need to cast as many Australian people as we can.
Well, they were in Australia.
No, right, and then they got this guy.
Yeah, this is
And
fucking.
he said he was Austrian, and they were like, "Oh, he probably meant."
Is-
This is
is-
like his accent was not even.
It's
close.
Jerry
that's not
Hunkman from
Austrian.
fucking like Southern California who heard there was a fucking role in Australia. It's like, well, I'll
Right.
take a fucking trip down there.
He is American, right? Because like the one line that plays in my head when I think about that character
He's got
is
the
when
fucking
he said,
strongest jaw out there. You could fucking grate cheese off that son of a bitch.
well, I mean, there are a lot of strong jaws in Australia as well. You know, Darth Vader was an Australian. There's also a lot of cock eyes in Australia, which is also a problem with Darth Vader, and that's why they didn't let him play it when they took off the mask.
Okay.
But anyway,
I appreciate
David
that,
Prowse was his name.
Oh,
There was also an Australian James Bond once.
Why?
I don't
We
know.
want one.
He was the one who only did one movie.
fact.
Well, Australia was founded by criminals.
You know, you know another thing about Australia.
What?
I don't fucking know.
Man, you
you're the
dropped
one,
that.
You're the one naming off every fact about Australia.
I was just Mad Max was shot there.
Yeah,
that's
that's a
like the most
classic.
famous Australian movie.
Let's change that. I want Body Melt to be the most famous.
All right,
fucking
people. Well, it's
Australian
up to you.
movie.
Go watch.
about-
watch Body Melt.
What
on
about Kangaroo Jack?
Fuck you.
Kangaroo Jack?
Shut your fucking mouth.
I never saw Kangaroo Jack. I just saw. I saw the VHS box for Kangaroo Jack 2 in Blockbuster, and that was one of my first boners because there was a girl on the cover.
I really like.
It wasn't because of Kangaroo Jack.
I really like this story.
Stop!
No, wait.
Nope.
Let him.
I really like the story behind Kangaroo Jack, not the story of the movie, but the story of what it like how it got made, because it was originally supposed to be an R-rated movie, and then like
There's a lot of slurs in there.
after everything was filmed and like it was in editing, they were like, make it PG. And
Please,
so,
we don't
and
have
so
this
there's a
happen.
scene where like this girl's tits are like obviously out and she's like swimming and it's just cropped really badly so that her tits are
They
not
just
the
put like an
frame.
actual blue bar on her while she was under the water.
Wow. I have not seen it, but that is a fascinating story. But now let's move on to Body Belt because
do it.
I think
Shut
now,
the fuck fuck up.
For the
Yes,
people, for whoever who might be listening, we're actually playing the movie in the background right now, and I feel like if we're behind the movie itself in the plot, just in talking about what happened, we are fucking up. So essentially,
there's not enough plot for us to like really. We should actually
that's
get like
good.
15 minutes
We're
ahead
gonna
of
get
this.
really ahead of this pretty soon. But anyway, so what? Our boy Ryan is like
Hunkman from California.
Ryan Hunkman, chemist. Is he just got injected with juice, so he's fucking going to the gas station. All of a sudden, he's bleeding out of his shit, so he drinks a bunch of fucking drain cleaner, and he goes up to the front of the guy at the gas
Yeah, at the
station. And the
petrol
guy is
station.
like, at the petrol station, and then he goes up to the guy at the front, and the guy's like, whoa, and then he fucking gets in a car, and he's like, because he's like dying and shit because his
It's like
fucking
having
throat
a
slit
third
open.
grader explain something to you.
It's like,
And then, listen. So here's what happened. He gets injected. He's like, oh shit, I'm dying.
We've already
he goes
done
to the
that.
petrol station. He drinks some detergent, freaks out a dude, and then he starts careening down towards a cul-de-sac. Boom.
well,
concise,
see, that's
quick.
the thing is, that's why I try to do it because you skip important information. He was
Fuck it, watch the movie.
Well, his throat.
Go watch the movie.
Well,
Don't
his
listen to us
throat was
tell you.
exploding. He grabs a
And
tape
he
recorder.
fucking sprays it all over
He
himself.
grabs
He's
a
like,
tape recorder and he says into that tape recorder, first phase is hallucinatory, second phase is glandular, the third phase, blah. And then he crashes into a cul-de-sac. The cul-de-sac he was going to warn the people of Holmesville.
that they're actually in Vimuville.
Yeah,
Which is actually a secret.
No, they're not
pharmacy-
actually in Vimuville.
No, they are.
See,
No.
Vimuville is the place that's the place the chemical
okay.
plant.
Oh, right.
No, the vacation place, right?
Yeah,
right,
they're
yeah.
in Holmesville, and that's
Holmesville,
where they've
yeah.
been experimenting on these people and trying to get them to go to Vimuville. See, it's a big old fucking
And
conspiracy.
so we see the crash happen and the man getting his paper, and he gets like 3 free packets of Vimuville.
Yeah. No, so the guy in there
Little vitamin
smashes his Vitajex, which is the same thing. Just if it starts with a V, assume it's related. So
Vagina.
there's 2 neighbor kids, and their names are Gino and.
Do you remember their fucking names?
wrote them down.
The moment I
Gino.
because on my first watch I was like, oh, everyone's not. You know how this movie ends, and then I was just like, I'm not gonna write their names down. Why does it matter?
They're
Gino something and Sal Chacon.
and their ages are ambiguous. Like I cannot tell how old they're supposed to be.
They are
Yeah, I
Bill and
think
Ted. They are Bill and
Yeah,
Ted.
they're
and
Bill
the
and
fact that
Ted.
it's just
They're
like,
Australian Bill and Ted, 100%.
I know. I thought that's like. I honestly wanted to look into it if like they were like from another like cinematic universe, like fucking Jay and Silent Bob, like in Dogma or something.
Totally.
Yeah, because I was like,
Movie
why
had
are
a
they
lot-
fucking here?
This movie had a lot of vibes like that where I was
Yeah.
like, this is part of something else, right? This
There's
is a cinematic universe in some way.
I need to say though,
Especially that scene with Thanos, where he's in
that was weird.
out of nowhere.
Fucking, I love every single like thing about the coloring of this movie. Like the
Very
fucking
bright, yeah,
like
it is.
Holmesville seems so good. There's that fucking
Yeah.
there's the dad with his like leotard and it's all different colors.
Yeah,
like,
the 80s ass, bright ass, fucking yellow red running suit.
yeah, and Gino's like fucking
No, location's
Gino
really
and his
good.
little buddy, and I don't know, everything just feels so good. And then when everything's all chemical, it feels chemically.
Ooh, yeah, it feels like all like industrial.
So
Now,
anyway-
we crashed the car, and there's a quick talking.
Yeah,
but
so
now
he died now. Like, Ryan is out of the picture. He died.
he is like these things, like they creep up and they like touch his brain and they like retreat.
Yeah, and
but
there's the guy in the house whose name is Paul. The guy's, and he's gonna be like the closest thing we have to a main character for the next 40 minutes.
yeah,
So Paul drinks his vitamins. He
I
was the
forgot
guy.
about Paul.
Yeah, he was the guy who
Paul had
Ryan.
it the worst.
He was the guy Ryan was
No,
trying to stop from
Paul had
taking his
second
pills.
worst.
Yeah.
We don't know why they're doing this yet, but anyway.
Oh
so,
no! Then we get to meet like the cool buddy cops.
Yeah,
Like,
so-
fucking,
yeah, exactly.
And he fucking the flattest landing joke ever. Well, guess we could get him for speeding.
yeah, because all right, so the cops.
No, not wearing his.
not wearing his seatbelt.
That was one of the points where this movie became really obvious. All right, this is like really tongue in cheek as a movie.
It's the
Because
old,
it's got
grizzled-
the old cop
Yeah.
and the young cop, and the young cop's American, right? Like,
No, he's
is he not-
he's Aussie too.
I think he's trying to parody like the classic.
No, he is. He totally
American
is.
cop. though,
He's
you
doing
know?
like one-liners and shit, and he's like, joking around, but like
Yeah.
the old guy's just like
He's going
shut the
full
fuck up.
CSI.
Yeah.
Like the part where he's like trying to fuck the doctor lady, and then
Yeah.
he's like, "Why is she so into you?"
Yeah, no, there's.
I'm not
there's a
that.
lot.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not looking
Honestly,
that bad.
I
am
would say the 2 cops are probably one of the weaker part of the movie.
but they're
Really?
still really strong. That's the good thing.
It's no Coneheads.
What?
with
Okay, the
cops, I mean.
mortician though, the cool hippie mortician with like the
yeah.
big smiley
Yeah,
face
yeah,
in
yeah.
his fucking
Yeah.
freezer.
Oh, dude, the mortician is actually behind the beefcakes, but
baller.
he's probably my favorite
Oh,
character
yeah.
in the have moved
So-
yet. But anyway, so
one-liner
the
happens.
the one-liner
Yeah.
happens. They find the tape where he's like, first phase
Hallucinogenic.
hallucination, second phase.
Glandular.
Have you been listening along? Glandular. Thank you. And then third phase, which
You
means
thirsty?
body milk.
You want a little energy, buddy?
I'll hold it.
Have a sip if you need it. Well, and then we cut to the airport. So it
Yeah,
turns
then we
out
cut to the
this one dude is
Paul.
actually like a really Paul is like a kind of well-to-do, pretty important person, and he is now currently tripping balls at an airport.
Yep. First phase. Hallucinogenic.
And it's very obvious he's tripping balls.
There's the punk couple who
Yeah.
looks at him and they're like,
He's
too
tripping
many
balls.
drugs.
Too
Yeah.
many drugs.
too many
Because he's just staring at nothing. He sees like
And-
this homeless lady, and then she becomes like fucking God before
Yeah, she
him. and he's
becomes
just
the
like,
light.
"Whoa."
Yeah, he sees the lady from Home Alone 2, the pigeon lady.
And then all of a sudden, nobody was there.
And this leads to the most awkward date. But
No,
then
it
we,
doesn't, because first we cut back to
Yeah.
fucking retard, another retard.
I was gonna say it
They're
leads to
driving around.
before we cut. So yeah, they're just hanging out, and we're now learning what they're doing, and it's that
Gino and Sal.
Gino and Sal are going to Vinuville because they.
My two favorite Impractical Jokers.
I fucking love these guys. And the reason why they're going to Vinuville and they get fucking stranded is because they were going for semen donations at the fucking health spa.
Yeah, I missed
They were just going to get jerked off for a week.
Yeah,
And instead, oh man,
but their windshield's broken.
right? It's just a fucking, it's just plastic over their car. And it's like already broken and fucked up.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
It's so
Yeah.
good. It's literally just them talking, cut back.
Yeah,
and
that's
now
just
we're
a
at the
quick little
most-
establisher to say we're cutting back and forth between these two characters now. A normal movie, this would be the A plot and the B plot.
Well, we have too many characters as a thing, though.
yeah,
too.
no, see,
we have an entire
this
cul-de-sac
A plot.
to kill.
You feel like you're following along, but like we're gonna drop character names entirely soon.
Fucking
Yeah,
constantly.
wait till we get to the Q plot.
Yeah,
This is my
yeah,
favorite,
We
though,
get to the
the,
fucking JQ plot, then not. Oh man, I totally did an accidental dog whistle right there. I'm sorry, I said JQ. I wasn't trying to shout. I wasn't trying to shout out my boys on 4chan or anything. I just thought about the letter J as a later funny letter and the letter Q.
Have you guys ever had like an awkward date by chance? Like, what's the most awkward date you've had?
Oh, dude, there was this one time where I just took a bunch of fucking Vitajex, right? And I went to the
no,
airport.
no. I want like an actual one because I was gonna lead in with it.
I haven't been on an awkward. I've only gone on dates with girls that I'm dating.
Yeah, I've never had like a really awkward date. So like to seeing the airport scene where he's just drinking coffee
Yeah.
and talking to like a very obviously like really rough looking lady.
But it was
who's-
also a hallucination.
No, she's real, and it's like
well, no, she's not.
she's real, and
No,
so
she's
like he's
not.
talking to her.
She's not real. Titan, help me out here. She's not real.
She's real. There are many women like her. She's real.
Oh,
Anyways,
see, there's that
just-
part.
Just like your girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's real.
oh, I don't have a girlfriend. I fuck boys. Not like the Jeffrey Epstein way.
Not
Anyway.
adult boys that shop in the men's section.
Yeah, I only fuck guys that go to Old Navy.
I call them boys because I look down on them because I'm a sexist. That's why I say that. It's not because they're pubescent. It's not because I like how the light glistens off of their nubile flesh. It's nothing to do with the huggies.
Do they wear shorts and then like splay their legs like this?
No!
Okay, all right, we're moving
We're
on.
tasteful.
Ooh, you play.
So,
I
the
know
most
you
awkward
play
so
coffee
yeah,
date.
Paul's on a
Basketball.
date
Awkward coffee date, and she
with a
stops.
zombie. With a zombie.
She's fucked and she's rough, and she's like
got,
talking
like,
about like,
worms.
oh, I hate people and I hate this and that, and she's like, hey, Paul, I need a place to stay, and we cut back to our two favorite Practical Jokers, Titan. I feel like was this your favorite like sequence of events in this movie with these two guys?
fucking love these two.
I fucking love the Psycho Hillbillies.
Sal and Gino?
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, and the Psycho Hillbilly,
Hillbillies.
led by Pud is the way he's
Pud.
referred to as.
He's the one with like the curly cues,
who has
right?
a bowl cut made out of his head.
Yep.
Like he's got a tumor in the shape of a bowl cut.
The way I noted him was he's the lead inbred. At the time, that's
He's
what.
the one in the
All
fucking
right.
doghouse.
Yeah. So, all right. So we get to this place, and they're just trying to get their car fixed, right? Because their windshield's fucked up, right?
No, they got lost. They think this is the place.
Right, but they're waiting for something. Oh, they think this is Vinuville.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
they finally like figure it out like kind of
Right.
early in, I
And
think.
Pud's got his gross ass. Are they his children, or are they like former?
Yeah, this is all his family because
Yes,
we
this
learn
is-
because
Oh,
that,
yeah,
that turns
it
out
is
to be
his-
later on. Yeah,
No,
later on he's
remember?
like,
Because he's like, he's your old man, right? And then he's like,
right.
something like that. We're not supposed to talk about it.
Right. So that's
it's something.
That's
it's
creepy.
These were
They go
like
and they
the
sit.
first experiments.
They're having some food. There's
Wink.
the manliest looking lady is one of the way I referred to her is Ron Gerlman. Because she's a female looking. Look at her. She's Ron Perlman.
She does look
at
like
her.
Ron
She is
Perlman.
fucking. Look at her, Brant.
She
Look
looks
at her.
just like Ron Perlman.
Yeah, but she's
Oh my
Ron
God.
Gerlman.
The makeup
and,
in these scenes are like really excellently done, like
it
the
really is.
masking and stuff, and like
And can I just say the hijinks that ensue in this part of the movie genuinely had me thinking that they were just gonna be hanging out with these hillbillies
I thought
and
so
nothing bad
too.
was gonna
Yeah,
happen.
it was like
Yeah,
this
me
is just be a
too.
fun time with
Like
them.
it was just gonna be a weird.
Outback adventures, mate.
Yeah.
I thought that
That
was
was the
just
bush
being in
people, yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
Where they
When you go-
where they
when you go-
occasionally do creepy shit like hit a kangaroo with a rock from 3 miles away and then
And
fucking
slit its throat.
Wait, that
and-
was a deer, wasn't it?
no, it was
it was a
what the
kangaroo.
Was that really a kangaroo? I thought that
kangaroo.
was a deer for some reason. Fucking just.
There's no
They're
deer
in Australia.
Yeah, well, they don't have deer there. They have deer fucking everywhere.
No, there's
No.
no deer in Australia.
I wouldn't be surprised if there
I think the
weren't deer.
closest is like caribou in Africa. But yeah, then we get like one of the better lines in this movie from the Hillbillies, which is like, we ain't got none of that. We got lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
No, he says breakfast, lunch, and tea.
Oh, tea. Fuck.
Tea.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
Because they're pretending
Right.
it's like a restaurant, and they're all just, and both are like, I guess, breakfast, and she
Yeah.
just goes and talks to this
And-
fucking toxic.
And it's immediately out, and it
It's-
doesn't look too bad.
It looks pretty solid.
And
I was like,
Sal really wants to fuck Ron Gerlman.
for
Yeah.
some reason.
For some odd reason,
For
Sal
some
is
reason.
trying to cruise for Ron Gerlman's giant chin.
Because
I
like,
think, well, think about like who else she's around and with, and like how
Well,
they look.
yeah, but like there aren't even any girls around there, man.
one of them
and
is,
they just
two-
came from society.
That is true.
Like
They-
it's not like they were raised there.
Listen, Sal is very much the guy that if he went back in time, he would fuck a cave woman.
Sal, I think Sal's supposed to be like a horny teenager. He's like, oh yeah, it's pushy. I'm gonna tell everybody about the pushy guy.
I gave that to you so you could have a little sip of caffeine if you needed.
I
to.
didn't
even
I want this back.
fucking
I'm sorry, I don't really like.
I have COVID.
I like water. That's my thing.
Oh, okay.
No, like, if I was in Sal's position, I would just turn around and shoot my shot with the pregnant bitch next door. Honestly, like Ron
Yeah.
Gerlman was not
Compared
it.
to Ron
There-
Gerlman, yeah.
There is no justifying what he did.
She looks like if she tried to give you a blowjob, it would be more akin to like sawing a log in half. The way her fucking like jaw settles when she talks. The actress or actor who did that, because I think it might be, I don't want to say it's a man, but makeup's really
No,
good.
it was a lady. It
Okay.
was a weird looking
It had
lady,
to
I
be a
think.
lady.
I
The way she, like,
this is
fucking
one of
threw
those
her lower
movies that
jaw,
just
like,
seems
ah.
like it was one of those movies that seems like it had access to weird looking people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like everything
They
Eric
actually went
on.
out to the bush wilds and like, there they are, mate. Come
Yeah.
on, you guys want to be in a movie?
A lot of movies like this where it's like low budget from some other country, like that's just they just know people. So they're like,
Yeah.
oh, I know fucking One Eye Joe
I know a good
or whatever the fuck.
No,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for One Eyed Joe, I'd have been married a long
Long
time.
time.
Exactly.
Where did he come from?
Okay, fucking A, we're way behind schedule.
The
All right.
Australian outback.
Paul goes back home with zombie girl who says, you need
No,
to
they
let me
move
home."
in. Yeah, they move
Yeah,
in.
she moves in with him, and now all of a sudden she's not a zombie.
Yeah, she's
now
beautiful.
she's acting like.
Well, we
there's a-
see her for a zombie for a second,
Yeah,
then
we
she
see
like
her as a zombie for a
fades.
bit, but then when they go into the bedroom, now she's all sexy, and then man, I actually even wrote down.
There's a
like,
lot of
line.
weird, like, and the sexual connotation here isn't even like sexual. It's weird. It's like she just starts massaging his stomach and like touching his ribs, and then like he wakes up in a fucking cold sweat, and he's like, "Oh,
Like that.
yeah,
Like
that
you
was good
just did.
timing."
Okay, yeah, you're 100%.
That's all it
right.
was, yeah.
I'm thinking about the next time.
Oh, the next time it
all
gets
right.
really fucked
So
up.
then we go back, and this is where like
then we're like,
this is where the kangaroo thing happens, right?
yeah. Listen,
Yeah.
All right,
100%.
so
And
they-
their truck. And their truck.
Oh, the cool
Yeah.
ass truck. I love it. Have
Titan,
do you guys ever play
do you remember
GTA?
this scene clearly? Do you want to bring us through this scene?
Do you guys remember GTA 5 real quick? How Trevor has the stuffed teddy bear he fucks like on the truck. That's why I like to
Yeah.
think about the next part of the truck is they fucked all of those teddy
Yeah,
bears.
there's some pretty strong Trevor vibes.
I don't remember it 100% clearly.
So-
but yeah, he like goes and chats with fucking what's his name, Pud.
Yeah, Pud.
He
Bud.
chats with Pud, and then Pud says a line.
Gino chats with
Yeah.
Pud.
And
Names don't matter.
Pud says a line that stuck with me, but I don't 100% remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't. Well, Gino's
I
talking to
guess it
Pud.
didn't stick with me.
Well, Gino's talking to Pud, Sal, and the fucking crazy little lads. Not lady man, lady. Ron Grolman, but Sal is off with the fucking dudes, and that's when they take out the kangaroo / deer or whatever it is, and that's when
It's fucked too, because like she
They
does this
eat the
weird like
adrenal gland.
scream too to
Yeah.
like get its attention. Yeah, and you get like the nice shot of, like the teeth work on it. And she's got
Yeah.
like the double fang.
Yeah.
Fucking nasty.
and then they eat the adrenal gland.
It's
And they're
wormwood.
Like, what? Wait.
Well, it's wormwood. Is
It's
that what?
wormwood or something.
No, they had a
Yeah.
great name. For
Why?
it.
Wild worm.
Wild worm.
Wild
That
worm,
might have
right?
been it.
Is that what it?
Yeah, I think it was wild
Wait,
worm.
wait. Psycho jelly.
Psycho
No,
Joe?
That's what they call it.
No.
I
the
remember
pud
hearing
kid, the
worm.
pud
I remember
kids
hearing
eat
word.
the adrenal gland, and they call it psycho jelly.
I don't believe that for a second.
Turn it
No.
up. Turn it up.
We're not turning it
Put
up.
your mic near it, Brant.
No, just turn on. Yeah, just
This
close
is
on-
the scene.
Turn on the captions. There we go.
But they're gonna call it psycho jelly.
No,
No, they're not
But
gonna-
anyway, that's coming up. So the disputed substance gets
They don't.
gets consumed. But at the
Also-
end of the day, it's an adrenal gland.
Also, the shot of the kangaroo just dropping. Look,
the very
Yeah.
don't.
they very much.
But
just
yeah,
body
this
the
is like where
kangaroo.
everything suddenly turns into like psycho hillbilly territory. It
Yeah.
gets really scary really fast. The gang splits up, even though this really creepy thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you guys. If this were me and I was with my friend and like someone just like cut out a fucking adrenal gland of a deer and ate it raw in front of me, like,
Well,
hey,
the
we're gonna
kangaroo,
stay
man.
together. A deer in my situation.
We don't have
Right.
kangaroos.
Yeah, I'd be like, we're not splitting up, buddy. We're staying together. But instead, they're like, hey, let's split up. Let's go fuck around.
Hey, you go fuck the crazy bitch.
Yeah, you fuck the crazy one.
And
I'm
I'm gonna go into the walls with this one.
gonna go drive a truck around in a
Crazy
circle.
word. That's the fucking adrenal gland.
You're fucking
You're
mad.
fucking mad. Don't they call it psycho jelly? Maybe that was the gibberish.
Back out just a second. Back.
No,
back up.
I watched every line come up there because I wanted to be proven right.
But anyways, yeah,
This
no, he
also
does.
can't be seen,
It
so we
goes
shouldn't
from
talk
like
too
the
much.
fucking he's doing in circles in this fucking truck filled with stuffed bunnies, and then he's in the wall in the most fucking creepy weird shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like looking at like all this fucking old stuff or like all this plot heavy stuff, and then he just almost sits on some dude watching porn.
Yeah, he walks in on an old man watching porn with his dog. And then Ron
With
Grolman
his dog. Yeah, I forgot about.
Crazy word.
Crazy word.
Crazy
They
word.
call it
I think it's
psycho
like
jelly at some point. I wouldn't write
Eventually.
something like psycho jelly with quotation marks around
I
it.
bet you would.
I think
Any-
it might be the parts where it says they're talking gibberish,
So-
but keep an eye on that, Titan.
These two guys are dead.
Psycho jelly. They say it right there.
There you
a
go.
couple
I'm
of
right.
times.
I'm the rightest. I'm the
we're
rightest.
both
of the
right.
right.
We're both right.
I was
Whatever.
righter though. But anyway, so they eat the adrenal gland. They're fucking going nuts. You talked about how like they were in the
walls.
Yeah, they go into the walls.
After fucking this one guy's like, I'm gonna go fuck the cave woman. I'm gonna fuck.
I'm gonna go fuck it.
Yeah, we're all right. So this is when the plot gets fucking crazy. We really need to press the gas on this shit. Okay,
This
so
is where it all happens, man. Yeah,
this
because
scene
this
happens.
is their last scene right here, guys.
Yeah, this scene happens with this shit. Fucking just to cut ahead a bit, Ron Gerlben does eventually fuck Sal, and while she's fucking Sal, she asks, "You want a love bite?" And then she fucking
Kills
eats
him.
him.
She just straight kills him.
fucking eats
She
him.
And then she
Stab-
sodomizes him with like a pitchfork. Or
Yeah,
some shit.
yeah,
No,
and
it's
then.
like it's a full fucking like post. It's like
Is
a
it
big
just a
fucking hunk of
post?
wood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we should stop cross-cutting now between different scenes when they happen, and let's just finish this story arc and go on to different characters.
Because they're
So
they're
so
done.
she
They're done
fucks
right here.
Sal fucks Ron Gerlman, and he gets eaten, and then she comes out and she's like, "Oh, I did a bad thing. I did a bad thing, dude."
Pud gets mad.
Dad.
How many times do I gotta have to tell you this, you fuck?
You keep it in the family.
Keep it in the family. Now we gotta kill the other one.
Punches him. He's like, oh fuck. He runs away. Jumps into the car. The fucking car that all it could do is ride in circles. And
Yep.
then it's the creepiest fucking scene of all these psycho hillbillies walking up to the car.
Do we
and-
ever see what actually happens,
No,
or is it just?
but we
left
know
to be-
he's
Yeah.
dead. He's
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah,
I
same
think
thing is we don't exactly see
like-
Sal get eaten.
I bet like because we do cut back to Pud eventually, but I bet
Yeah,
if,
we
like,
will. We'll come back to
probably,
that
like,
part because we need to introduce other
Yeah.
characters.
I'm saying we probably see like one of their shirts or something in the background that like says
Right.
like yeah they're dead.
Okay.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
So,
After the fucking
so there's a
psycho
cock
hill-
shot.
Quick
Don't
cop
forget
shot.
the cock shot.
What cock shot?
They're at the autopsy
remember-
of
yeah.
Ryan, and you just fucking flaccid cock on the table.
Just
Quick little cock.
It's a really bad body too. It's like all rubber.
Yeah, he didn't look great. He had his ribs split wide open and everything. He's missing one, by the way. Or was he? Was he? No, actually,
I don't know.
that comes in later.
All men are actually because of women.
Oh yeah, good point. But see, that's the weird. That's why I said Bible is one of the tags. So anybody who clicked on this for the Bible references, get geared.
And then they fucking the cops come in, and the fucking coroner autopsy guy, he's like, "So it didn't work out getting that job with the Secret Service, did it?" And then the guy's like, "No, they ran a check on me, so I knew you."
A lot of good Aussie banter. A lot of good Aussie banter.
And then the autopsy dude basically says they were on some sort of hallucinogenic
Crazy
substance.
new drugs, crazy. I'm seeing like
Yeah, these drugs
the
all
new
over the place.
reality. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like
that's
because
what
like the
he
way
says.
that they think of it, because this is like the 80s, so it's like, oh, you know, old
No,
mom
this
and
is
dad.
90s. That's
90s.
actually a line
Yeah.
in the
He
scene.
says-
He's like, this isn't 70s psychedelic shit. This isn't like 80s, just going to the clubs
You're
and
right.
shit. This is
This
like
is
90s.
full-blown
This is 90s
90s.
shit.
Which-
This is full-blown 90s. I think that's how you do an Australian accent. You gotta have your lip
I
up
can't
here.
really think. My drug history's not too great, but I'm sure there wasn't like too many drugs actually made in the 90s. Maybe like a few things were fined, but
A lot. I think that's when designer drugs
like
really.
like Sass and MDMA and all that cool crazy shit.
Had to
But
be.
anywho, they also interview Sean at this time, who was the chick with her tits out at the beginning. They interview her. There's a quick scene, and the guy's like, "Oh, I'm the cop who interviews
I'm
the
a big
obvious
fat
bad
cop."
guy. I better not think she was that bad. I'm gonna go do more scenes looking at other stuff that clearly wasn't."
Well, if
the
he's
bad
a
guy.
character, he doesn't realize. Listen, the guys at NCIS don't think of themselves like everyone we interview is eventually a bad person. This is just a cop. And the
Yeah.
old guy's like, well, we'll keep your eye out on her. But
Yeah. And then there's a quick scene where Paul looks in the fucking... Paul is the guy who took the pills and was tripping out in the airport and met the zombie, if anybody forgot that. But there's a quick scene where Paul looks in his mailbox and he trips out. And then we go in and zombie... Her name's Kate, by the way, the zombie lady or whatever.
Oh.
I just remember
she-
fucking spooky as shit at the end.
She says...
Her
so
fucking-
he's tripping out and she's
Paul's
banging him.
conclusion's so fucking scary, actually.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah, so they're tripping. It was actually I think it might be one of my favorite scenes of the movie because it got really, really trippy really fast.
Oh, yeah.
But so she's banging him like really fucking.
she's not even fucking
Is
him.
she even? No,
No,
she's not
she's
even.
just- she's
It's just
just
hot and
rough,
heavy.
yeah.
She's laying on top of him in the bed, and then
She's
she
rubbing
says.
his fucking ribs.
She
for
says,
a very
"You are
specific
the
reason."
last one," and she says she's taking 13 ribs from 13 dudes, and then she eases his rib out of his body really slowly, like she's jerking him off.
Yeah.
Like it was really like sexual in the
She
way that
fucking
it was.
rips out, it's like holding
Yeah.
over, and she's like, "There are many women like me,
Yeah,
and
she says
there are
there are
many
many
more
more
men
men
like
like
you." And I was like,
And we are all in your mind.
fucked.
Okay, and then we just
Oh.
all right. Okay, so that's the end of that scene, and that's when Paul dies.
Well,
Also, let's
he's
be
not
real.
technically dead.
Yeah, because
but
he
he's
becomes
dead.
a zombie or something.
He's all fucked.
Let's be real. It did kind of look like Paul's ribs might be delicious.
Yeah, it was a
Dude, they
good
were
looking
pretty
rib
juicy.
boss.
They were pretty juicy. You see how like she slid those fucking the bone right out.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
dripping with juice.
I'm telling you, you just slow cook those in a hickory smoker for about fucking 14
That would
hours.
be delicious.
If it doesn't fall off the bone, it's free.
Paul had two packets of the Vimuville shit too.
It's my grandmother's sauce.
He had two fucking packets of like the Vimuject vitamin stuff, and he's already tripping nuts this hard too. I love that.
Right. Okay, so
There's like no ease into it. It's just like boom, you're fucked.
so then this is the point where the movie entirely drops like following specific characters in that way.
Yeah,
and
fuck
now
you
it's
now.
just showing how Vitajex is affecting an entire community because
Now we go-
they've been experimenting on this community of Holmesville for
This
a
is
while.
where we go to the pregnant one, right?
Yep. This
Yeah.
So
This one was
first,
fucked.
really quick. So there was the jogging guy. There's a quick scene where it dissolves to her receiving some book about Vimuville. And like they've been being experimented on by the Vitajex people.
Yeah. The classic like suburban family. It's like an older sister, younger brother, and like mom and dad.
Yes, and there's a pregnant lady in the neighborhood. The pregnant lady gets interviewed by the cops, and she's like, "I don't know anything," but really that scene doesn't establish much.
They
at
just
all.
moved in. Yeah, they just moved in, and that's all it
Yeah,
is. They
she's
don't
like,
know
"I don't know
anyone.
shit." And then she goes to the doctor, and the doctor says,
No more monkeys jumping
Be on the bed. Hey,
Exact-
listen.
exactly.
He says, listen, I get this is Australia. We got a lot of kooky stuff happening. Listen, no more drop bears all up on your beds. Not having it.
So
no
the doctor,
kangaroos.
The doctor says to her, like, "Oh, don't worry, we'll keep you on your vitamins." Or
Turns
whatever
out
fuck
the
he says.
doctor-
He calls Sean, Shaan, Shan.
Were you expecting
whatever.
this twist, Titan?
The girl with the boobs from the beginning who
With
injected.
I mean, like, we haven't like seen the doctor first, but like,
No.
how'd you feel, honestly? Because like, as soon as I saw like the doctor call up her, I was like, oh, this is gonna get gross,
Right.
isn't it?
And the
Like,
doctor is
ah.
actually kind of trying to protect because he says, and this is the only time his character acts this way. By the way, after this, his character is just like crazy and the bad guy. But before at this,
Well, because
moment,
he knows her
the
fucks
doc,
when it all
yeah,
goes
the doc
down.
calls and says we need to decrease her drugs, and the evil lady is like, oh well, we need to finish this test because we've got that grocery store chain that just ordered 1,000 million, 1,000 million billion trillion, and we got to get this test done first. So just fucking do it. I don't give a shit. So like that's the big bad guy satire. This. So now we know why they're doing this. So they're infecting these people because the drug actually does give you a lot of strength. First, it makes you trip the fucking balls off of your goddamn head, and then it makes you and then
You're
it makes
wrong.
you
Well,
other way around.
You're talking. No, you trip balls, and then you fucking full glandular, then you melt if you.
Well,
if it's
yeah, but
because they're missing something. But we'll get to what they're missing later.
But what they were
Remember-
intending to make,
Yeah, 'cause
is
it's
they're
a health
trying to.
sup-
It's
it's like
supposed
just a
to be a
health supplement.
super health supplement.
Yeah.
That was what they were trying.
But
to
they're
make.
missing an important ingredient, and that's how the Psycho Hillbillies will come back into this.
Right,
But
okay,
anyways,
gotcha.
let's cut over to pregnant woman
Yes.
and the fucking horrifying. This scene is fucked. This isn't even like, oh, scary. It's just like, oh my god, fuck.
Yeah.
So we've
Christ.
we've seen a few things of like what the Vitamax bullshit does, kind of. But this is the first time we like see like someone actually just like fully.
Really quick, right before that scene, the Thompson family, or no, his first
Who
name,
fucking cares
the
about
Noble family, the guys
Who
who,
cares about-
the
yeah,
people who
they're
got the
leaving.
book,
They're leaving
the
to
people
go
who
to
got the book,
Vimuville.
they're leaving because
For-
they just
for
got told they're
vacation.
going to Vimuville. So
And then
I
we're
don't
not
know.
gonna see them for like another fucking 40 minutes.
But yeah, they left to Vimuville.
So she's all by herself. She's the only one left in the neighborhood because everyone else is either tripping balls or dead in the fucking bushwhacks of Australia. And she comes back from the doctor, and then shit goes really south very quickly. She has, I don't want to say a miscarriage, but
Her placenta,
Her placenta falls,
becomes
yeah.
a creature and attacks.
like it ate the baby, and then like it came out of her, and it's just fucking like 15 minutes of this panic scared woman just in her house with like this fucking creature, and it ends with her stomach exploding and her husband getting
her husband
killed.
gets eaten by or the husband flies onto her, or the placenta flies onto her husband's face.
And she tries to fucking stab it.
Oh, right before he walks in, too.
And if that would have happened, I would have been out. I was like,
because it would have just popped too, though. Imagine if she did, it would just would have like popped like a fucking.
Right.
Because it's like spitting hot air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
then-
the doctor, of course, used all this. He knew because, like, she calls, like, is it normal to like lose your placenta? And he's like, oh yeah, just call your husband. Call your husband, have him come home. And they blame the murder on the husband and say like, look, he's a sick freak. Look what he did. He ate the baby too.
And the doctor says,
That was
at least this
fun.
note, the doctor says there were no drugs in her system.
Yeah, because he's like,
because
oh
he
yeah,
knows that he's the bad boy.
right. He comes back. He's like, well, she was calling me all worried, and I'm her physician. Anyways. The
Yeah,
pregnant
and then-
couple is kind of done for now. We'll get back to the
So
husband.
now we're following the doctor around because he's kind of like the central character.
He's
at the
going to
moment.
go see Paul.
Well, before he even goes to see Paul, he goes to see Paul.
Yeah, he goes to
and
see Paul.
Yeah, you're right. Paul just because Paul got murdered.
Now we know what happens to Paul. And
And then Paul is
Did
all
you-
of a sudden a face
I'm
sucker.
gonna, yeah, I'm
from
gonna
fucking
stop. No, I'm
Last
gonna
of
stop you
Us.
right there. Shh. Because did you think Paul was gonna like be like this weird like split open rib monster or something? Did you think the ribs were gonna have fucking anything to do with it? You wrong, dumb fuck. His face is all fucking fucked up. His eyes are popping out, and
Yeah.
he rips the fucking ear off the doctor.
Yep.
Oh, his fucking
He looks
face,
scary.
dude.
He looks like a
Oh,
predator.
It's so fucked up. Like it's peeled. Yeah, it's like peeled back in like quadrants.
And so he looks like he's got the fucking mandibles of the predator.
Eyes are like popping out. Like yeah, the teeth are just like bare and like showing. Fuck.
And then after that, the doctor doesn't die, by the way. The
No,
doctor
he just gets
got
his ear
good and
ripped
attacked. Yeah, got his ear ripped off. Really quick, Cross, just because like it seems like the Thompson family or Thompson.
They're coming up.
The Noble family, yeah.
I fucking love the Noble
But there's a
family
quick little
scenes, too.
quick little scene with them where one of the Thompson boy bullies his sister in the gym, and then I just have rollerblades
forgot
and
about that. Does that kid ever
rollerblades
come
and
back?
dyes smashes his face. I don't remember
Well,
that happening,
it
but
was-
that's what the note
That
says.
was fucked up.
Yeah,
though,
no, he was doing fucking rollerblades, and then he fucking on like a half pipe, and then he fucks himself up.
Yeah, no, it was a long half pipe scene, and then he just
Let's-
fucking explodes.
Let's get
on
to
the-
this real quick. Let's get to this then, because okay, so they leave. They're in Vimuville, and the lady's talking about like all the food's made to be super healthy and all it's all sneaking all the nutrients for your kids and all the workout equipment. And the kid's just like, whatever, I mean, pie, it's great, whatever. And the girl's just like, she doesn't eat anything. Did you notice that she barely was eating anything? That's why she was okay.
See,
so
eating disorders help.
they do, especially if you're living in a secret pharmaceutical hellscape of
Exactly.
Australia.
And fucking, oh my god. You know what
Oh,
really
they all
got me that I
die.
hated the entire fucking movie? The dad's boogers.
Yeah.
Like all that mucus shit. That got me worse than like
yeah.
the actual gore.
So yeah, they're
Yeah, no,
eating
the booger death. Well, are we there yet, though? There is
they're
a
eating
quick
food.
scene.
They're eating food. They're eating food,
Yeah,
and then
you can
it's
just
like
go through it.
he's got like a
We'll
booger,
see.
and it's like, oh, your booger, and that comes back. But yeah, it's
You know
just
what?
a
Let's just
through.
kill him. Let's finish the Thompson family.
Oh my
Do they
God.
need to come back
No.
for plot reasons?
No,
Okay.
fucking kill him.
So,
it's
yeah,
so
there's
cool.
the-
It's such a fucking cool death for all of them.
Yeah, to explain it, because I remember it as clearly
her
as you
mom.
do.
Her mom. Fuck.
Oh, so the dad. Okay, so what happens is first the son dies. He goes out to go roller skating by himself. He bullies his sister, and she says, "Hope you break your fucking neck." He breaks his fucking neck, splits his face. Oh, and like it's like night too. He goes like
Right,
the middle
and
of the day, and they're like, "Oh, he'll be fine. He's camping out there."
Yeah, mom and dad are fucking, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's fine." He said he was gonna go.
So the
somewhere
kid
else.
just dies by himself, alone at night, with his face all fucked up,
He doesn't
gurgling
even
blood.
fucking. His body doesn't even melt. He just fucked himself.
Yeah, we just
up
see
on
his
the
face
hot-
all fucked up.
Yeah,
and that's where the-
and he's got like labored breathing. It's real.
Yeah, he's
fucked.
definitely like, he was suffering the whole time. Then we cut to the dad who's been having this booger problem. Finally he's like, he just got done cleaning, got this big booger, so he starts blowing it. If you guys ever watched, is it The Thing? No, it's The Exorcist, right? Where like he like scrapes the flesh off his face. It's like that, but with boogers.
Yeah, he drowns in boogers.
And then he
Booger-
falls backwards.
sentient
and-
boogers.
He falls backwards and hits his head on the fucking on like a counter.
Yeah, like he
That's-
just keeps blowing his nose, and like more snot keeps coming out till it's just
Which,
covering
honestly,
him.
He may have died right after that, but those were like the deepest breaths he's ever taken in his life.
Yeah, just fucking
His sinuses were clear as
so
fuck.
good. Well, no, because actually we see the wife open the door, the fucking little geyser of snot bursts out the nose.
Oh yeah.
Then she's like, she gets the daughter. She's like, your dad's dead or whatever. Like, we got to get a doctor. So they run to a fucking doctor outside of Vimuville. And then the mom dies in another fucked up way, which has
Well,
nothing
wait.
to do with
Isn't
anything.
that
Her-
Her tongue swells up.
yeah, it just like everyone else had like kind of a thing that was like established, but
Did you
hers was
notice
just like
that
her.
there was an actual, because these are practical effects, right? Mm-hmm. There was an actual fucking baby in that waiting room where she died in. Like not a baby, like a toddler. Like
was-
that
it was-
kid was making memories.
Yeah, it was bring your kid to work day.
Okay.
And one of the earliest memories he had.
That was
So
that was
that's-
H.R. Giger's fucking uncle.
So that
or,
scene is
niece.
actually establishes an important thing too. And this is actually like a little bit further towards the end of the movie, but I don't think it matters. This is when the doctor they go to outside of Vimuville to try to save her husband who's drowned in the boogers. The doctor says, "Oh, Vimuville." That old chemical plant,
it's an
that
old
old
chemical
chemical
dump.
dump.
Yeah.
Why were you there?
Yeah, it's give you
so-
cancer.
Well, I would. So yeah, it sounds like the way I read that at first was like, so they were just tripping balls and imagined
No,
the place.
yeah, I mean, like it's done on purpose, but like it was a nice.
It was just the
little
way
drop,
that they
yeah.
said it in the movie was such like a
Like, why would
they've
you-
been dead for 30 years.
It definitely was a dead man walking thing, but yeah, and then you're just left with like this fucking daughter all by herself. Her entire family's dead, and she's just like,
Right.
Her mom's tongue grows like what would you say, like 7 feet out of her mouth,
yeah,
and just
it
chokes
was
her to death.
longer than her fucking
Yeah.
body by a lot.
So fucked up.
Yeah, and then she dies.
And that's the worst, I think, is
So-
actually being that daughter in that moment, because it's like, am I gonna die like this?
Okay, so
Is this
that's
how I go?
so that's like right as the movie escalates, but there's been a little plot going on right before that.
Little beat plot.
That's a little plot going on of the buff dudes.
If we'll say like people melting is like the A plot, the B plot is like the buff dudes in Vimuville.
well, the buff dudes also leads to melting.
I love this buff dude. He's got the highest voice.
This is the
too.
This is the part of this is actually the thing in the movie that made me realize, oh, this is fucking definitely just the whole thing's like intended to be a bit of a joke, and like because like there's a scene, just to explain how this movie works. There's a scene where this giant jacked dude goes into like a room,
so fucking
a
big.
room full of fucking like a bodybuilder, like straight up Arnold Schwarzenegger at his prime. Like he walks into like a warehouse full of a bunch of different boxes of Vitajex and is just standing there with a clipboard.
A comically
That's
small
what this movie
clipboard.
is, a comically small clipboard and a giant dude. That's what this movie essentially is. But so they're like, oh, you want to give us the 44s, eh?
Yeah,
You
we
give us
try-
you gave us you gave us the S2s. There's nothing in them.
Can I please have the fucking big ones? And then
Yeah,
she's
the bigger
like,
ones, the better ones.
and then she's like, "Is this the scene?"
This is the
Yeah,
scene.
this
Yeah,
is the scene. This is the scene.
And then she's like, "I already gave you some." And then he's like,
Oh, bleed
'cause this
through
is-
it,
His
bleed through
voice is like, "I already went through all of them.
yeah, because they're
Oh, those are
steroids.
weak as hell. mate.
Please, miss, can I have some more?"
It's all a bunch of buff
Yeah.
dudes doing steroids
I
at this
just love
point.
this shot.
Oh, I fucking love everything that happens in the Vimuville.
But yeah,
I'm
so then
fucking-
anyway,
good.
he sneaks in and he steals a bunch of the really strong ones, and then cut to, I didn't realize it was the same dude because all jacked giant dudes look the same to me.
There's
so
a couple. There's
the
a couple
way I
jacked
know,
dudes.
Got
the,
different
There's
colored hair.
Yeah,
the
there's
way
like
I
3
noted it
jacked
was
dudes.
unrelated beefcake dies of a boner, and that's essentially what happens.
Oh yeah, doesn't he?
Yeah, he fucks her and,
And
then
then-
his dick explodes. Or
No,
no,
no.
he was getting ready. No, she wouldn't fuck him again. So she leaves the room. So he's trying to jerk off to some porn, And
Hey.
then his
His
dick
dick
explodes.
explodes.
His dick explodes.
His dick melts. He gets body melted in his dick. But then so the chick too was she was the one that like took the Jones guys around and was like, oh look, I'll be your assistant. She then goes to fuck the really high voice one and he kills her.
He strangles her
It's-
as he comes.
It's insane,
Yep.
dude. He just fucking like
Yeah.
one hand on her neck and then like he body melts and like his entire body just gets like 3 sizes bigger immediately and just breaks her neck.
Yeah, and then so then we have the quick scene where the doc runs to Pud.
Pud.
Yeah, all right, so also right before that though, the cops went over to Paul's house. And they found the
fucked up-
drugs.
yeah,
they found the drugs there too, and they saw that they were it was
The
fucking
doctors and it said like
Yeah.
Vimutech on it and
Yeah,
stuff.
it said
all
it
the
had
clues.
every part of it just to explain the plot to the doc.
These cops are so good. They literally solved this case halfway through the movie.
Yeah. So yeah, they figure that out, and then the guy goes to Pud, who Pud apparently was the original inventor of Vitajex. Is that what it is?
He was like the head chemist, and he had the I guess
He had the real secret, or he had
he had the
discovered
courage
the real.
that he wouldn't do it on other people. He would only do
He
it on
only
him.
experimented on him and his family.
That's it.
Yeah.
Only him and his family.
That's why they were all fucked up and they
And
looked like Ron Perlman.
over until like now, he's like, my formula's been incomplete. You've been missing this piece. This is what's been keeping me and my family together this whole time. And it's just like, are you fucking kidding me? And this is
Yeah.
where the movie just kind of like starts to spiral now.
Yeah,
and
and-
I don't mind this ending for like all this stuff, but like this is definitely the fast train spiral where it's just like,
Yeah, so the doctor...
gotta get done with.
Yeah, so this is where the Thompson family thing would happen.
Yep.
And then the doctor goes back to Vimuville, and he says, look at me, the cops are there too, and he's like, look at me, I'm powerful, I took the proper Vimuville Vitajex formula, and he shoots himself through the hand, and he's like, you could have this! And then it's like, oh, is he gonna shoot himself in the head as a really important thematic moment? And oh no, he's not, and boom, and then he does.
He just does
and then
it
he's like dead and
anyways.
shit. And then the cop probably says something fucking stupid. I didn't write it. I didn't write down anything the cop said.
No
I was just-
one-liners. I didn't give a shit. I thought they were funny when they said them, but it was like there's no reason to like repeat them. It was
Yeah.
definitely like a bad CSI joke because they all fell flat too, like every one of them.
Okay.
I liked them all. I
Yeah,
All right.
it was great. They all fell flat like in the most perfect way. It was like,
Yeah.
So now we're at the pretty much ending.
It's over.
Yeah, so Sean is in there. She's been in there the whole time trying to like fix what was she doing on the computer? Was she trying to like hide everything?
She was
scrambling because she knew she was about to hit the
send it all out. Yeah,
yeah, she knew that shit was about to hit the fan.
All the ship. She was like sending out all shipments and like making sure.
Yeah, she was just trying to make sure that everything got out. That's what.
So she took a bunch of Vim.
She took a bunch of fucking Vitajex and then she melts. She just straight up melts.
Yeah, she's the only actual one. Well, okay, other than the one Jones dad.
That's what I said.
Yeah, other than the Jones dad, she is the one only actual complete body melt because she just fucking melts.
Yeah,
it's pretty hardcore. I loved it.
Okay,
and that's it. That was a compilation. That's basically the end of the movie.
Well, her body melts, and then
it's just cops.
Then we go back to the cops, and at the cop shop, there's a guy who's puking on everybody.
This is offer him.
It felt like a post-credit scene.
It should have been.
Yeah, it should have been a post-credit scene. But like, yeah, so the cops puking on
it's the husband. It's the husband that fucking ate the placenta.
Oh really? I thought it was just one of the people.
Because he starts. Yeah, he's projectile vomiting and like they're all scared of him.
And then how do they beat him?
They just shoot him.
They just kill him. Oh yeah, they just shoot him.
They just shoot him, don't they?
They just shoot him, and then
I thought that he just died on his own.
Either he like explodes or they shot him.
Evil Doctor has become okay. No, that was earlier. Yeah, I didn't even write a note.
We blew through this one.
The only thing I wrote for this scene was cop pukes on everyone, and he wasn't even a cop.
No, it was. You got that part wrong.
But I remembered where it happened, and then I wrote the line of
And then they bring in the
doctor,
guy.
the doctor, or the coroner guy. Thank you. The coroner guy was there, and he's like, "Hey, what should I?"
Such a good day.
He's like, hey,
I fucking love the coroner.
No, the guy who gets puked on, or one of the cops is like, what should I do, eh? And he's like, I suggest some aspirin, mate.
Yeah.
And like that's like the joke. And then we go back to the same gas station. It's like, this guy was drinking fucking detergent.
It was crazy. Did you get him? Be a fucking pill popper.
Fucking pill
Papa, get some sleep.
And then the camera pans.
Sleep.
And then the camera pans and guess what is on the shelves? What is for sale?
Twinkies.
Jerky. Nuts.
Vitajex.
Part 2? Question
there was
mark.
No part 2.
Bum 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 bum.
Here,
play me in.
Yeah, play him in.
Because that was a good movie. We're just playing right away.
Wait, before you turn that. Oh.
Perfect. There's never been anything.
Hey, what's up,
that.
guys? We're trying to do some recording here. I hit the thing. It's flashing red. We're good, right?
It's recording. It's rolling. We're rolling.
Is flashing red mean it's recording?
I think it should. That sounds like.
This isn't brought to you by Natter Days, but I needed a couple drinks to have fun with this movie.
Yeah, it's not brought to you by Natter Days.
Hey guys, welcome to the boardroom. This is we downgraded a bit, but hey, I brought you guys here. You know why you're here. You know what you're doing. I think we all could say that Body Melt is a good movie, but is it a great movie? I want an Oscar, or at least multi-million, billion-dollar fucking payback on a movie like this. I want actual practical effects. I want some real drama.
It's actually genuinely an insult that there wasn't a conclusion.
I
to
do.
the story,
really
especially
was.
when there was that sequel hook.
If you're doing a remake, if you're doing a sequel, if you're doing a prequel, I want something big. I want something smazzy. And above all else, boys, above all else, I don't want any fucking CGI. All practical effects. Yeah. What were you gonna? Oh,
I'm sticking with my idea.
you
Fuck
stick
it.
Yeah.
He's got an
I
idea.
think you'll
boys
take-
Are you
got an
confident
idea.
enough to fucking put your nuts on the table right now,
I
Ty?
sure am.
Fucking do it. Let me see. Let me see the nuts.
Oh, you mean? Oh,
I'm gonna pee.
No, don't actually. No.
do it. He's gonna do it.
look at my belt buckle.
Oh shit.
No!
Did anything break?
It's all falling apart. I hope not.
Okay, we're
right.
still live. Okay, good. I'll be right back.
Jesus Christ.
I want him to go first because honestly, I forgot that I was supposed to come up with an idea.
You just wanted to watch a fucking movie.
And
You wanted to fucking walk into my studio.
Until halfway through us explaining the plot.
I saw it in your eyes. I actually did.
Did you?
That's
Did
why I
you
was like, hey, do you want an energy drink? Because I was like, oh, you're fumbling. You're fucking panicking now, aren't you?
Oh, it was after that I remembered that I had to write something. I can't remember which scene I saw. I think it was when she started pulling out the ribs. But that's why I started going on my phone a lot.
You're like, oh fuck.
I'm writing down. My
I've been there
plot
with you
points
too. It's
here.
fine. We get it.
I don't know. I just liked Body Melt, and then I was excited to talk about it, and then I forgot that I had to come up with a shitty idea.
Yeah, that's why I want to like streamline and put it through. It's gonna be funny when it comes back and it's like, hey, guess what? You just wasted 10 minutes of dead air.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you're going first actually because turns out someone forgot the whole fucking point of this.
No, don't. I don't know what he's talking about, man.
You ready to go?
Oh, Titan's definitely got an idea. He told me he had an idea right before, but he wanted to pretend he didn't have an idea. So he was gonna
do a
stall
comeback
for
kid type
thing.
thing.
No, he's doing like a whole thing. Yeah, he's doing like a whole thing.
Become dog millionaire.
The cum dog billionaire.
Okay.
I'm not taking the
fucking
glass.
okay.
I wish I could fucking set this up.
Don't take the glass.
I'm gonna start chugging beers until I hear what I like.
Okay, here's what we're doing. So here's what I had pictured for this movie. So the most interesting thing about this movie to me, especially aside the body melting and such, was the big satirical thing about like the idea of some giant company just poisoning the people for their own use.
Right, keep going.
Right. So here is what I was thinking. So you know what's topical about drugs, medicine? Vaccinations.
This isn't Shark Tank, just fucking tell me.
So here's what I'm thinking about the vaccinations. So, COVID-22 sequel. Brand new sequel, COVID-22. So alright, so because in COVID-19, after that happened, in 2021, the entirety of the American populace was given the COVID vaccine and nothing bad happened. But in 2021, in between this time, a man discovered an old, beautiful, magical chemical called Vitagex. And he's like, why aren't people using this? And then there's a new COVID-22 that's going out there. And everybody's like, okay, we know how to respond to COVID. But Vitagex comes out there and they're like, we actually figured out a way to cure this way before anyone else. We have our own vaccine. And everyone's like, okay, all right, well, everybody's like an anti-vaxxer or whatever. Like, you've been proven wrong. The vaccine worked during COVID-19. But COVID-22, like, so we already have a vaccine. We're 100% ready. This Vitagex company is going to save us all.
Is COVID a vital part of your movie? Because I think that's already been copyright claimed by China.
Okay, yeah, good point. It doesn't have to. All right, so that's the thing is like, so this doesn't have.
That's political commentary.
I'm just calling it COVID to make it easy. But
Okay.
this should just feel. It should be.
We'll change the name.
It should be an obvious satire that means something obvious.
We'll change the name, something else.
So that happens.
Like Corona.
The disease goes out, and there's this company, Vitagex, who already has this thing that just cures the disease completely. And
it makes you better,
gives
too.
you, and it makes you better. It gives you, the president gets it live on air, and then all of a sudden the president's jacked, and then all of a sudden everybody in the country's jacked. Except for one man.
You're telling me there's one guy off who's not jacked? So we got one guy who's a jack off?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone else is jacking on, but he's jacked off?
He's jacking off. He is jacking.
I don't like these jack-offs!
So here's what we do. So the movie opens up, and we've got this. We've
Spike
got,
everything.
the movie opens up, and we see a young lad. He's actually a descendant of Sean, and he finds the Vitagex formula.
Why
It's
Sean?
Like years later, Sean was her name. Could be just someone from the first movie who was slightly
Okay.
involved. Could be Ryan's descendant.
Make it the daughter, because I think she's literally canonically the only one that survives all this.
Sure, but whoever it is, this person is related to that person.
Okay.
And they discover the Vitagex. They don't know why it went south. And then we have this big montage of like all of a sudden Vitagex goes up. It fixes all these people. It makes all these people strong. And then they develop their vaccine. And we cut the news coverage of that. We cut the coverage of Obama 2.0, whoever plays the president, just getting jacked all of a sudden because
can I
I
choose,
took the Vitagex. Now I'm jacked.
My immediate problem with this
No,
one,
so
right?
I haven't even told you the plot of the movie yet. So let me get.
This wouldn't be a fucking like vaccine. This would be a dick growth pill.
No, so that's the thing is this is a vaccine. Like it's Vitagex because that was the thing is Vitagex is such a strong drug that it immediately kills whatever the disease is immediately. So they don't even care about what the side effects are. They're like, okay, cool, it gets you jacked or whatever, but that's dope. Everybody wants to be fucking jacked. Everybody's gonna be jacked. So everybody gets jacked. And then at the beginning of the movie, in this montage, we introduce Alex Jones. And it's not really Alex Jones. It's a character played by Alex Jones called Vic Truth.
And he's just Alex Jones, isn't he?
Yeah, he's played by Alex Jones. He's played by Alex Jones, and his name is Vic Truth.
We're gonna table that name. No, we're not using Vic Truth. Come up with a different. Vic is fine. Vic is fine.
Kenny Bones, that was the other one I had.
Kenny Bones, I can see it. I can see him like his opening be like, Kenny Bones, I dig up the truth.
I can spend some time thinking about that.
Yeah, I can see Kenny
Bones. You don't
Bones.
like Vic Truth? I
Vic
thought that
Truth
was the
is
coolest
too much.
thing I've ever written.
It's too on the nose.
Okay, but
Alex
anyway.
Jones is already on the nose.
So Alex Jones as a character, Vic Truth, whatever. He's really trying.
That's fucked, mate.
He's trying to make it so people know.
And he just dies.
He's trying to make it. He's trying to make it so people do not infect themselves with this poison.
Don't
He
take
actually
it.
has the documents. He knows what happened in Body Melt. He knows what happened 20, 30 years ago.
I was there, mate.
everyone-
I saw the bodies
Well,
melt.
no, because it's Alex Jones, so he's just like, oh, I found this on the internet or whatever. This is what happened, and they're not telling you, man. The government's not telling you because, like, they want you to take the pill or whatever. And then fucking everyone in the world gets it. Everyone in the country gets it. And Alex Jones is the last man who didn't get the fucking injection. So he personally, one man, storms the Capitol trying to save the
They're
world.
all melting because he just pushes into them and they just glop.
No, they're all jacked.
They're all actually
They're
so
all
jacked.
fucking jacked and sexy and healthy, and they grab him, they put him in prison, they inject him,
And then
and nothing happens. 20 years later, though.
Okay.
20 years later, though, all of the children of the people who were vaccinated suddenly body melt. So the entire human race ends a generation later. Everyone laughed at Alex Jones. Everyone put Alex Jones in the cage, said, oh, he's crazy. He thinks that it's gonna... But no, it doesn't kick in until years later. So that's the big...
Isn't it instead of an injection, can we have it be like a blue pill?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Sure, it can totally be the blue pill. It can 100% be the blue pill.
Black pilled.
Yeah.
Well,
with a
that's
little
the dumb
Vitajex logo.
Okay.
On it, yeah.
I mean, oh god, it feels so what just ends with like everyone like we're doing like an idiocracy like fucking pan out where it's like and then everyone died.
I don't see that's the thing is like
Or
the
we like
exact,
have like a montage of like melt babies coming out and being birthed.
I just see Alex Jones being released from prison, like 70 years old, or fucking whatever.
Just a bunch of melt people
whatever,
walking around.
and like no, it's just like they just let him out because like society died, and like there's just all these melted children in the
Okay,
streets.
here's a big one because this is what I was wondering too. Is the second movie gonna explain like the weird like tentacle things and like how there seems to be sentient matter inside of certain people when they do the body melt stuff? Like, because the pregnant lady, it was canonically said that she had too much stuff. She was getting too much of the Vitamex bullshit, and then also the doctor got overdosed on it. And they both had like a fucking sentient thing, like when his throat was all split open
Right.
like that. That shit fucking grew up and like grabbed his brain and like went back
Right.
down. Her fucking placenta ate the baby and became like a sentient fucking monster.
Well, and see,
are
I-
you gonna explore
so you
like this
could
fucking weird parasite thing when people OD on it?
I
or
could
is it just gonna
definitely,
be like
I could
super
definitely
jacked
explain
dudes?
that further because that even fits in with the narrative I just gave you. Because the first time that
Because
the first time that Vitajex went out into the population,